Has anyone ever called your hair kinky? Were they saying it to be nice and kind and to compliment you? Or were they using it as an insult? Hi, my name is the Foreseer, and I'm the author of Unraveling the Mysteries of 4C Hair. And today, we are going to learn the true meaning of the word kinky. Now, I don't know about you all, but I personally have never been told my hair was kinky and it be in a positive way. Anytime anybody's ever called my hair kinky, it has been to insult me. It's been to try to drag me, right? Especially as my hair got longer and longer, I kept hearing it more and more. Oh, you got kinky hair, you got kinky hair. And, they weren't being kind, they weren't being complimentary. But what if I told you that the hidden meaning of the word kinky is actually the true meaning of the word kinky? And it probably means something completely different than you ever thought. So let's dive into it. But before we can get to the nitty-gritty, I've got to tell you a little bit about the word etymology. What is etymology? Well, etymology is the origin and historical development of a word as shown by determining its basic elements, its earliest known use, and the changes in its form of meaning, tracing its transmission from one language to the other, identifying similar terms in other languages, and reconstructing its ancestral form where possible. That is the definition of etymology. So basically, it is the study of a word from its historical use to today in order to determine its true meanings and sometimes alternative meanings. Now, etymology can lead us to uncover the true and original meaning of words, hence kinky. Right, so how did I wind up discovering the true meaning of the word kinky? Well, I was writing the book Unraveling the Mysteries of 4C Hair, and I was examining, of course, the coil in nature, in history, in physics, in space. And part of that journey led to me learning a lot about energy, specifically how coils store and release energy. Now, this led me to two different terms: potential energy and kinetic energy. All right. I think it's really interesting that those two words are related to energy. For example, the meaning of potential energy is energy that has been stored, and the meaning of kinetic energy is energy that is being released. So I actually have two coil springs. And it's funny because this coil spring is about the size of my locks. The size of my actual coils, the size that my coils grow. And so to give you a visual example of potential and kinetic energy, potential energy is when the spring is compressed. It's completely compressed. This is stored energy, right? Potential energy. When my spring is released, that's kinetic energy. And I don't even know whether the spring went. The spring just flew, okay? So these springs are how a lot of basic mechanics are energized. For example, pens. You need a spring. Again, this is potential energy, and this is kinetic energy when the coil has released its energy that it was storing. So, speaking of kinetic energy, can you see the similar root word between kinetic and kinky? If you said yes, and that connection is the root word K-I-N or K-I-N-E, then guess what? You, my friend, are correct. So what does K-I-N or K-I-N-E mean? What does that root word mean, and where does it come from? Well, the root word kin or kine comes from a Greek word. Both of them come from the same Greek word. And that Greek word is K-I-N or K-I-N-E, kin or kine. That word translates to move or movement. Can you repeat that? The root K-I-N, the root word of both kinky and kinetic, is movement. So kinetic energy directly translates to energy in movement, which makes us wonder, or me wonder, what does that make kinky hair mean? What does kinky hair translate to? Kinky hair translates to hair in movement. Hair in movement. Hair in movement. So what does it mean to say that you have kinetic or kinky hair? It means that you have hair in movement. And since 4C hair is full of luscious curls that generate kinetic energy, we can even take this a step further. We can go so far to say that kinky hair means energy-rich hair that is in movement. I love it. So, etymology shows us that kinky is a derivative of an older, more complex word, kinetic. Knowing this, we realize the term kinky, although oftentimes used as an insult, it's not an insult at all. It's actually a compliment. So the next time you hear someone say that you have kinky hair, what they're really saying is that you have kinetic hair, that you have coil springs all throughout your hair, which allows it to have both potential and kinetic energy. So you, my friend, are a beautiful, beautiful biological machine with coils growing through your hair. And these same coils are used to power and generate so many technologies. And if you get the book, you'll also find so many other intriguing, mind-blowing aspects of 4C hair that we've never been told, that we've never gotten a chance to celebrate. So let me just celebrate with you all right now. To all my kinetic hair girlies, I love your hair. I think it's gorgeous. I think you're beautiful. And if anybody ever tried to insult your coils, they literally did not know what they were talking about, because they were actually complimenting you by accident, on purpose, because the Most High made it so, right? All right, my friends. I'm so glad you're with me. I'm so glad for all of you all who have already purchased the book and are finding new ways to love and embrace your 4C hair. So I just want to give you all lots of love, lots of kisses, lots of celebration. And if there's any specific word you might want me to do a deep dive on relating to our hair, or if there's something you saw in the book that you want me to go into more detail in, I would love to do that for you. All right, so keep your chin up and your crowns light, my babies. Enjoy this beautiful day that we have. Enjoy your coils. And remember to speak love and life and beauty into your locks every single day, because what we think about ourselves is a direct reflection of how we act and how we operate. So I'm sending you the most love, the most kisses, and the most joy. All right. Okay, I love you. Bye-bye.